What happens if Europe stops acting like one region and starts breaking apart politically, economically, and strategically? Borders tighten, trade weakens, alliances fracture, and one of the world's most connected regions slowly becomes divided again. Because modern Europe was built on cooperation, so what happens if that cooperation begins collapsing? Right now, Europe is one of the most interconnected regions on Earth. Countries across the continent cooperate through systems like the European Union and North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Goods move across borders quickly. Millions of people work and travel freely between countries. Economies are deeply connected. Some nations even share the same currency, the euro. For decades, this cooperation helped Europe grow more stable, wealthier, and more unified after the destruction of World War II. Border restrictions return. The first visible change is movement. Border checks return across Europe. Travel slows down. Trade becomes less efficient. Transport costs rise. For decades, businesses relied on fast movement between European countries. Now suddenly, that system becomes slower and more complicated. Economic division grows. Then economic pressure spreads. Countries begin protecting local industries. Trade disagreements increase. The shared European market weakens. Investors lose confidence. Supply chains become less efficient, and stronger economies begin separating from weaker ones politically and financially. Political tensions increase. As unity weakens, political tensions rise across the continent. Countries disagree more openly on migration, defense, trade, and foreign policy. Regional alliances begin replacing broader European cooperation, and Europe slowly becomes less coordinated globally. Global influence declines. A divided Europe becomes less influential internationally. Instead of acting together, countries negotiate separately. This weakens Europe's ability to compete with larger powers like United States, China, and Russia. The continent still matters economically, but its collective power becomes smaller. Global effect. The world wouldn't suddenly collapse if Europe split apart, but global systems would become less stable. Trade would slow, markets would become more uncertain, security coordination would weaken, and one of the world's biggest economic regions would become far less predictable. Because modern Europe's strength comes from cooperation. Without that cooperation, the continent becomes more fragmented, more vulnerable, and less powerful globally. For decades, Europe worked to move beyond division, to replace conflict with cooperation. And while disagreements still exist, the system created one of the most interconnected regions in modern history. But if that unity ever breaks apart, the biggest loss may not be economic. It may be the return of uncertainty across a continent that spent generations trying to avoid it. So the real question is, can Europe stay united in a world becoming increasingly divided?